What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Our Streamers Cheaters. Today we're going to put a little bit of a different spin on things. We're going to be reacting to somebody else's content who does similar things to what we do here on this channel. I believe that this video that this guy has put out deserves to have as much attention drawn to it as possible. So for that reason, we are going to be taking a deep look into this video today. And this video is about Zlaner's gameplay. It is very in-depth, and I think that the detail and the amount of moments that are actually shown within this video is fantastic. I genuinely do believe that after all of the time and effort that we have put in as a community over the past 12 months towards Zlaner's gameplay, that this one could really help the cause. And if you do enjoy today's video, guys, be sure to hit that thumbs up. If you're new, subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any future videos. And don't forget to follow me on Twitter at Badboy Beaman. It's the best place for you guys to contact me about any streamers, no matter how big or small, if you believe they are cheating. Right, let's crack on with the video. Okay, so first of all, before we get started on the video itself, I want to show you guys Headdband's YouTube channel. Here it is, 4.32k subscribers. The guy hasn't been going for that long, but he is growing massively. People are starting to really understand that there are people out there willing to step up to the plate. They are willing to be the ones to stand there and say whether or not something isn't right. And this is something that I've been willing to do all my life. And I'm sure the guys who have decided to start up these YouTube channels, just like Headdband, have a similar mentality to me. And I've personally watched a lot of Headdband videos, and I agree with some of them, not all of them, as always. Same with Headdband as well. I've always said that I agree with a lot of his videos and not all of them. It's the same with them all. We aren't just here banding together to say, you know, let's agree on this, let's agree on that. That's not how it works. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion. And sometimes, even when we are all trying to do the same thing, the same cause and the same reason, we do have a difference of opinion. However, today, Headdband posted a video about Zlaner. You can see it here. Zlaner Aimbot exposed, it's over. Now, personally, I believe it's been over for a while, but Zlaner's fans, they seem to disagree. This video today that Headdband put out is something that I would call, I don't know, a masterpiece? Yeah, let's call it a masterpiece. The way in which he put it across was very well put together, and we will show you that video now. We're going to go through it. I might stop it a couple of times and react to it and say a couple of things, maybe add a little bit of additional information. And this is all obviously going to be based on my opinions of the clips that are shown, but Headdband makes some very valid points throughout as well. We're going to go and take a look at the video now, guys, and trust me, you are not going to be disappointed. Let's go. Right, let's crack on with the video. We'll skip his intro and outro, guys, of course, but the full video is linked in the description below, as well as in the pinned comment down in the comment section. And we will be adding a couple of other videos within that pinned comment towards Headdband's channel, towards Sergeant Stressful's, Puddin's, Gustav Spielt, and Bossin Daily. There will be quite a few in that pinned comment. Okay, so from this point, guys, we're going to play them through. We're going to let Headdband speak and explain what he wants to say. And I might put my input in. I might not have to. I might just agree with him. Let's go.
All right, we're going to jump right into it. And I swear I'm not going to talk too much today until we get to the end. That's when the most damning clips, I always save the best for last. So I'll have a little bit more to say. But in general, you're just going to look for a few things throughout these clips. He's using Aimbot day in and day out. So these things aren't changing, but there's a few different factors you'll look at.
So first of all, let me just stop it there. Headdband said he's not going to do much talking through this, although the things he does say throughout are brilliant. As you know, guys, I like to talk because I feel that explaining things in depth sometimes helps massively with explaining what we're seeing. What Headdband does here is just simplicity, and it does work, it's effective, but I'm going to add additional information throughout. He's also, at this point, already said that Zlaner is using Aimbot, okay? And I think that that is very bold of Headdband. Let's crack on with it again, guys. Sorry for the pause, but expect these throughout.
The white dot in the very center, the stickiness to the player's body, if he gets that there first. The ADS snap, so when he starts clicking L2, the fact that it goes right to the body, right exactly onto the player. And then the third thing I want you to look out for is while he's killing a player, usually long range with the 3x scope, when he's killing the player, watch how linear and perfect the aim follows the body. So look at the character and watch his aim. and watch how they move together perfectly and bounce on a lot of these situations. You can see it clear as day. That's what I want to say. Now I'm going to play through a lot of these clips, and I'll have some important things to say on specific ones along the way. But get ready, you guys. Buckle your seatbelts, because this is a crazy bunch of clips on Zlaner.
It is.
I got one of them.
So look for the white dot snap and the L2 ADS.
I knocked him, Z.
The white center dot snaps to the player, and then he ADSs snapping to the player, just like the other day in the video we checked out.
This is something that a lot of these content creators seem to do. And it's something that I have mentioned in the past, especially about Zlaner and Diaz Biffle. But the crosshair placements before they've even ADS'd, they will be moving at a set amount of speed until the exact split second that crosshair placement, that white dot, hits the enemy and it just stops dead in the exact place that we are saying that their aim appears to be locking. Okay, so if their aim's locking at the chest, that crosshair placement stops dead on the chest. If it's the knee, it locks on the knee. If it's the elbow, the head, the head. And this is a point that Headdband completely reiterates throughout his video about that just stopping dead on the enemy. Now, anybody watching a live stream that's 8 hours long isn't going to look at this clip and think, oh my god, this guy is cheating. But when you stop it and look at the exact moment, watch it over, watch it in slow motion, watch it in slow motion again, and you will see it. Out of the thousands and thousands of viewers these guys get every hour, how many of them do you think are watching for that specific thing? They're watching for the show. Zlaner is putting on a show, and this is something that Headdband also says later on. He's putting on a show to the point where when anything is suspicious or anything happens, he either goes down the route of putting on that act where he goes really loud in his vocals, holy, or something along those lines, or does a little bit of a slide movement. And this is the thing that people don't understand. When I'm saying a slide movement, I am never talking about him just slide cancelling for the purpose that slide cancelling is or has. It's simply just an act to try and take attention away from something that's just happened. Let's continue watching now.
Zone's coming in. I got one of them.
I saw you.
Beaman on the left.
I knocked him, Z. Man, you're on a good game here. 24. God, I suck. Nice shots.
Jesus.
Nice shots.
Jesus is right, Lupo. What you're paying attention for on this one is how linear the shots are with how the player falls.
Oh, it actually stopped as well at one point.
He follows him perfectly at a slower pace and then a faster pace when the shoot is released.
So just like Headdband said then, it's not about tracking. Anybody can track a player. If they're good at the game, they can track a player if they are moving in a straight line. How many times are you, as a player of Warzone, tracking a player and they change direction? Your aim continues in the direction it was going and you have to then readjust to then catch up to where the enemies move to. But every single time it happens to the likes of Zlaner or others, such as Diaz Biffle, their aim just perfectly follows them. There may be that very minute slow down and move back, but that is caused by any smoothness settings that could be used, maybe. But in this instance, the guy's fallen down, his parachute then comes out, and in that split moment where he sort of pulls back up because of the shoot, Zlaner's aim just stayed on him perfectly in the exact location on his body. Brilliant spot by Headdband, I'd say.
Insane. I'm just going to try to give you the information you need today.
Yeah, I'm thinking storage. Hostile dropping in, probably buy me a PC. Big Chungus?
I don't know, man.
Watch how the hip fire hits him before he fully ADSs. Watch it again. I'm always gonna play it twice so you don't have to hear me talking. What, you just got lucky there?
I just want to say on that clip, and that clip alone in this whole video is the only one that I believe Headdband has left himself open for a little bit of a backlash. And the reason for that is because it just doesn't have any telltale signs. The only issue with that one is the fact that Zlaner hit a couple of hip shots before ADSing, but as he ADS'd, his aim went behind the enemy and so on. If you take this clip that we've just watched out of this whole video, I don't believe that there is another argument or counter argument or even a debate that you could have against anything else within this video. This is the only one that I believe is left open for, and maybe it was this or maybe it was that. This is the only clip. And even Headdband says,
maybe, I guess, but all these clips from every second.
Coincidence, maybe, I guess, I think he said.
Hostile dropping in, probably buy me a PC. Big Chungus?
I don't know, man.
Every kill.
This is my favourite, this one, coming up. Not that one.
Moving up on the road, too.
That one.
White dot, and then the ADS snap.
See, now
Just wait
even
till
that was
these ones
sus.
I got at the end of this video, you guys.
The way that white dot hits the... he doesn't even kill this enemy, but watch the white dot now. Watch the way it places itself on this enemy now. You ready? And this is something I've paid attention to for a long time, is the white dot placement.
You mark him?
You get eyes on him at all?
Alright.
Pausing it a sec. Listen to Headdband's explanation of centering here. This is a very brilliant explanation of centering and exactly what should be played out by any pro player. Anybody who is good at the game would play it the way Headdband describes it, not how Zlaner does it. Okay?
This one I'm going to pause really quick because this is where you really have to pay attention to the white dot. So, and people are going to bring up centering, okay? And I want to talk about centering here because it's important. If you're good at centering your aim, you're going to be rounding this corner and keeping the white dot in the center just beyond that opening, okay? So you see the opening he's headed toward, and there's guys potentially inside. So you're going to want to keep centered while you're going around the corner, right? But Zlaner does not have to worry about centering, you guys, because Zlaner gets it centered for him. So you're going to see him slide over to the left. His aim bings across to the player, and the dot stops right where the player is. Then the player goes behind the obstruction, and then he relocks onto him again. So it's two locking motions rather than rounding the corner and keeping your aim centered like someone like Scump would do. So check it out.
And I'm sure if you
Boom,
wanted
on the
to, you
body.
could actually go and find a
It's hard to
prime
tell,
example of
guys.
Scump doing it.
And then boom, right back. In fast motion, this happens so quick and so perfect. Right there on the player. He's rounding the corner, so it gets a little tug. And then boom again. I know, there's going to be people like, oh, it was a little tiny bit off. Watch it in fast motion.
You mark him?
It's just
You get
two
eyes on him at all?
sticks. It's two sticks right on the player.
Hey, do we got another box down here by chance or no?
I don't think so, not yet.
Oh, you're in it. I'm coming.
This
That was
one, he
another
goes
one
in,
that
and it's
stopped
one
dead.
harsh stick to the left with the center dot. Boom.
I just want to pause it a sec, because what you've just witnessed there, we've actually pulled up in videos in the past, is when an enemy is running in one direction and the player who is aiming at them drags their aim from the opposite way. So with the player running this way, they're dragging their aim that way, and then as soon as they meet, their aim just perfectly goes with them. Does that make sense? Whereas any other player would go past and then have to recenter it onto the enemy. It would be backlash, it would go behind them and they'd have to pull back. But when it just stops and meets perfect and continues with the enemy, you've got to ask yourself, how is that happening? It is literally like a magnetic pull. It's like, oh, no, I'm going with this guy. Yeah? So watch this.
Fast center dot, boom, right to the player. You got to remember, that is not supposed to stick. That is not supposed to stick. This is in slow-mo.
You f***ing me? I just killed myself, I think.
Alright, this is another good one, and people are going to question why I posted this. But all these different scenarios help paint the picture of how he's easily and obviously using these aimbots, okay? When he goes around this corner, he sees the player, and then he sees the player cut right to the building. Zlaner knows this, sees this, it's obvious, you're going to see. And instead of just cutting right to the guy, aiming at him and killing him up close, Zlaner jumps far out, twists around at the player, and then perfectly L2s and kills this guy in a bunch of bullets. Why does he jump out far, guys? Aimbots need some FOV to be able to lock onto the player. So if you're stuffing yourself right into the player, it's going to be wonky, it's not going to work right, or you're not going to get the perfect lock-on hits because it's not going to pick up the player because maybe you're too close and you're off a little bit. But if you jump far out, right, and you twist your FOV around and you have an L2 snap on, then boom, it can pick up that snap easy.
Okay, so I want to add a little bit extra onto what Headdband said there, and what he said is about 90% right. I believe that when a player is jumping out like that, it's giving them the distance to allow them to not look like it is snapping. You have to remember, if somebody has, say, their aimbot set to chest or head, and you are literally stood in front of them, then you would see the snap. The closer you are to the enemy, the more noticeable any snap is. Any snap or any lock is so much more noticeable, because even if you have a low field of view aimbot, that allows you to be able to pick off enemies at a distance, whether it be mid-range or long range. It allows you to pick them off. It can also help in short range gunfights, especially with SMGs, especially if you have it so you can toggle it on whilst in hipfire. But in this instance, I believe that that jump around could be to mask the aimbot in the sense of hiding it, because if, for example, your aim was at the legs or the head, but you have it set to chest and you are that close to an enemy, it would be so noticeable when your aim drags perfectly to the chest, because nobody who is that close to the point where you are basically kissing the enemy would move their aim from head to chest or from leg to chest. It just wouldn't happen because of how close you are. So it would have been a noticeable snap to the chest area. And that's why I believe Zlaner jumped out further away, so that he could get almost centered with his crosshair placement and then take his shot.
So this is the stuff that you see when you're really paying attention. Watch it now and you'll see what I'm saying.
I just killed myself, I think.
And the snap occurs on the L2 exactly like how I'm describing. It's not like he starts hip firing early or ADSs early. It's on the ADS. Jumps wide out to get the FOV. The L2 snaps him onto the player. Alright, we're going to start getting crazy again. The clips are going to start getting crazier and crazier now, guys. This one, you're going to watch the white dot in the center again. It's going to wildly and fastly snap to the player, even in slow-mo, and then he gets an ADS right onto the player. Bink.
Oh. Even the noise Headdband made then had me laughing the first time I watched this. Bink!
Watch it one more time.
We'll watch it again.
It's so harsh, it shakes the screen, you guys. Watch it again.
I think that shake was because he was slightly sliding at that point, but still, as he was sliding, his crosshair placed perfectly.
Did you see that in regular
Which
motion?
makes
how
it even
fast that
more
snap
strange.
is?
Hold on, I'm wrapping left a little bit. I see them, 2 of them.
Hey, Luke, maybe send for me, bro. I know it's kind of selfish, but oh, never mind. Do you have a gas?
I see them, he said.
Yeah.
I see them.
Never mind.
I can hold it out.
I'm down.
Oh, it's just a bush, and he continued his aim, right? Okay, sure, guys. But listen to why this one is weird, all right? Yes, he tracks him through the bush. Yes, he hits all the shots. Boom. But more than that, the weird thing about this one is that he stopped shooting for no reason, okay? And I think why is because he knows he's shooting through a bush, shouldn't be able to see the player, and he's absolutely destroying this guy. So these are the habits and things you got to look for, guys. He zooms in on the player. Right.
Like what Headdband's saying here is correct. It's a noticeable trait with anybody, whether they be rage hacking, soft hacking, anything like that. If they realise that they're shooting an enemy in a position where they shouldn't really be able to see the enemy, or where they shouldn't be able to be hitting the shots that they are hitting, they will pull out of that engagement. The reason for that is because it saves either being reported by the in-game player if you kill them, because let's be honest, they would see the kill cam and be like, yo, this guy was sat in a bush and could still see me. Even though he couldn't see me, he managed to hit every single bullet. So yeah, of course they're going to report it, probably wall hacks, probably aimbot locking on. Or maybe this player's a streamer, and maybe he doesn't want his viewers to see him absolutely lacing people through a bush. So what better to do than to stop engaging in that situation, stop firing through the bush, wait on the other side of the bush for the enemy to reappear, then start taking your shots again. Because that is, in fact, what a normal player would do who hasn't got cheats running. Or maybe they would try and track it through, and maybe if they were hitting their shots, they wouldn't stop. Why would you stop if you are tracking a player perfectly and getting hit markers? I certainly wouldn't stop if I was tracking a player, whether or not I could see them. If I knew I wasn't cheating and I could completely say that I was legit and I was hitting every shot, so what? Continue shooting them, and there you have it. You've got a kill. You'll get a report. If you're not cheating, it doesn't matter. Let's continue watching.
Right on him, as always. He's perfectly tracking him through the bush. And then even though he still has bullets left in the clip, he pulls back and doesn't continue to finish him. Why? Internally, he probably knows how suspect that is.
Internally, I like that. No reason for him to stop shooting. None.
Man, if I was shooting him like that, I'd continue my aim for a few more bullets at least while shooting him, right? Haven't taken any damage.
Our bounty is still here.
Right.
Right in front of me. Durable gas mask. Oh, I need that shit, I guess.
Watch the white dot.
Now, with this clip, Headdband doesn't mention this, but in this one, the white dot appears to be locking onto the leg, which is something the Hoppin' Dude has actually put multiple videos out, one of them which includes many clips of Zlaner, where it appears that his aim isn't just locking to center chest all the time. It could be that he's got it set up to lock at different places throughout. It could be that he's got it set up to lock on the leg for a couple of games and then changes it when he's in intermission screen. It could be anything. But watch the place on the enemy where this white dot actually locks onto. It's locking onto the leg. And then it works its way up.
Exactly as the body drops, the aim drops perfectly. I know they're going to be people like, well, he walked into the crosshair. The aim and the body
real time.
dropping at the exact same time, like I'm doing in real life right now like an idiot.
You said it. And that was two guys.
Players.
One who pushes right and it switches.
Even in slow motion, you can see he misses like one bullet during the transfer, snapping from one to the other.
I do believe that was two
Just
bullets
wait till
missed,
these last
but
bunch
still.
of videos I got for you guys. I mean, these are all aimbot. They're all aimbot. Every single one of these are aimbot.
I think slowing this clip down didn't do it very much justice. When you watch it in full speed, it's even worse.
Absolutely
The way in which
insane
it
at this point.
transfers so quick.
Oh.
This is it again in full speed.
Just so you remember how quick it is. You can see the gun jolt over.
I like this one.
Backing up.
Listen to what he's got to say now.
Okay. These are two of my favorites in a row, you guys. These are two of my favorite clips, and I'm going to start collecting a bunch more. Because in the last two videos that Zlaner updated, these next two clips that you're going to see are the only ones where his aim goes wonky. And there's a perfectly good reason for why it goes wonky. Watch the two videos he just posted. His aim is perfect the entire time throughout. Just mowing everyone down, perfect ADSing, perfect ADSing, perfect ADSing. The entire time, you guys. The only thing that stops him is obstructions, because aimbot gets weird with obstruction.
Headdband's reaction there was hilarious, right? But the valid point that he's making, which is definitely valid, is with aimbot, when there is an obstruction in the way, whether it be a vent on the top of a roof, whether it be the banister of a stairway, whether it be anything, if there is an obstruction in the way of your aim and you are using aimbot, your aimbot cannot lock onto that thing that it wants to. It's trying. It can either cause jitter or it can cause the aim to completely not work. The aimbot, that is. So if somebody's continuously using aimbot and their aim is just perfect throughout a game, but then there's an obstruction in one of the kills, their aim will literally spray everywhere, especially if they don't usually need to control their recoil or their aim positioning or their crosshair placement or their tracking, because aimbot usually does it for them. But then that obstruction gets in the way, something can go wrong. And this takes me back to the moment when Zlaner tried to address these what's on his second monitor or third monitor allegations or accusations or whatever you want to call them. People were talking about him using second monitor for wall hacks. He put a camera on, but during that stream, there was a split moment in one of his gameplays where he went to aim at an enemy who was on a roof. This enemy was behind an air vent. As soon as that enemy stepped out from behind the air vent, his aim snapped to the player chest. And I don't mean just moved slightly, it literally snapped to the player chest. This has actually been featured on one of my previous videos on Zlaner, guys, and I will link that in the description below. I will probably have it up in the top corner of this video as well around this time, so you guys can actually go and give that a watch. And you will understand exactly that it's not just this one moment where an obstruction has caused a problem for Zlaner and his aim. Let's continue watching Headdband's video now.
So watch as he goes up and tries to do his regular ADS, and with his hack settings, it should zoom right into the guy, and he should be able to easily just shoot and finish him up, right? But we have two clips in a row where an obstruction messes that up, and you can see what his aim actually looks like. Watch this, you guys. It's the railing.
He's
the
excited.
Railing
He's
messes up
excited.
his aim, and he goes nuts with his aim. And what do you know? As soon as he's out from behind the railing, every bullet hits. Every bullet hits. Take notes.
Spaghetti aim. You want
We're
some
gonna watch it
bolognese
again.
with that
I
aim?
didn't even plan on watching this again, but this is just so obvious here, guys. He hits no bullets, and his aim is all wonky. He's trying to ADS onto the guy. The aimbot isn't registering. The guy is behind the fence. As soon as Zlaner gets around the railing and clear path, every bullet hits. Please pay attention and don't just pass by this like it's nothing. This is blatant evidence, guys.
Backing up, healing.
Boom, 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 boom. What's the matter, Zlaner? You got something in the way? A couple of bars? You can't aim through the bars? I can. My fucking God, man.
For the record, I think that's the first time I've heard Headdband swear. He tried to tone it down a little bit, but he still swore. The thing is, the Headdband has a clear point here about the railing, about the banister, whatever you want to call it. And it is almost like Zlaner is just shooting without trying to aim, without using his joysticks to aim at the enemy. Almost like he was expecting something to do it for him. But you would think as well that somebody who is cheating, if he is, has the knowledge that this kind of thing can happen. Maybe he just forgot, maybe it's the heat of the moment, but he's only got 5 kills at this point with 70 left, 24 teams left, so it's not like it's a high intensity moment where you would forget such things. But if you were to literally go through all the moments where Zlaner comes across a railing or banister like that, or any sort of obstruction, and watch his aim, you could probably piece together a nice compilation video of about 50 moments, and that's just going off maybe his last month worth of streams. You could probably put together 50 moments of where an obstruction has caused Zlaner's aim to do that. I've actually featured a couple of these in the past where they have actually led to a snap, similar to this one, missed every single bullet, and then automatically starts lacing the guy when there's no railing in his way anymore. Make sense of it, guys. Let's continue watching. This is another one.
All right, so another obstruction. The post going sideways. It's a little bit of a wonky area. Same thing as the last clip, okay? He tries to ADS in onto the guy like normal so he can just finish him up with his perfect laser shots, but it doesn't get the lock on because of the angle and the way this player is in between these bars. And you guys know Call of Duty, how they outline things. Sometimes it gets a little wonky. Sometimes you can go to shoot around a corner and it says you're hitting the wall and you're not actually aiming at the wall. So that's what happens with these sort of in-between bar situations. And his gun is not picking up that player with his ADS script or lock-on aimbot or whatever settings he's got going on. So check this out and look at his real aim.
Whee!
I just think it's hysterical, guys, because it's just clear as day. It really is.
He's just better.
You have to know what to
8
look
hours
for,
a
but
day.
He tries so hard right there. He's like, why isn't my ADS grabbing him, man? It's because the bar's in the way.
I'll get this guy again.
All right, here we go. I got to walk around. I'm going to do a quick lap really quick. Just a quick one. All right. The lap's over.
Where's he
It's a
gone?
quick lap. You guys, we're about to blow the doors off. We're about to blow the doors off. We are. If you didn't see my energy, here it is. Here we are, loosey-goosey. Watch this.
Loosey-goosey.
In fast motion, you're not going to see much. And then in slow motion, you're going to be mind blown. The guy that self-reses on this roof starts to get up, and he's like levitating over and up. And Zlaner's magnetic, sticky hip-fire aim perfectly follows this guy so linear, it's not arguable. You can't argue this. Watch the clip.
I'm just pausing it a sec because I want to say that a lot of people will say that this is rotational aim assist. A lot of people will say that this is 8 hours a day. A lot of people will say that he is just built different. People would even go as far as saying that he's just better. You're about to witness something that again, is caused by an in-game glitch, quite similar to that of the lagging player clip that we continuously focused on in the past, because Zlaner failed to address that in his accusation response videos. And the reason it was so damning was because nobody in the world could predict that a player was going to be lagging in a zigzag motion backwards and forwards and track them perfectly. That's what happened in that clip. And what happens in this one is just as bizarre. Although there's no back and forth motion, what actually happens is almost like this enemy turns into Superman after self-reviving and just flies off because they're not touching the floor. They're in an almost prone position, but levitating. And just watch it. Just watch it.
Jump off. He's one shot.
Top left's right there. He's probably selfing.
Yep. Got it. Stole it. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Watch this. This is a levitating, lagging player that's trying to get up. He's like swooping over.
Is it a
You
bird?
cannot predict this odd,
Is it a
strange
plane?
movement. Watch how
No.
the fire sticks perfectly on this guy.
It's
Is he
Superman.
magic? Is this guy Houdini? Is he making people float with his aim? Maybe he's doing that. He's such a good hacker. Maybe, you guys. I mean, I don't know how
You saying he looks
argue
like
stuff
Harry
that.
Potter?
And we're not done yet. There's even more. But let's check this one out again.
Wingardium Leviosa. You can actually fact check that spell I've just said.
I mean, that's just it.
Eye down top left. Eye down top
I'll
left.
get this guy again.
Sniper.
He's going to jump off. He's one shot.
Top left's right
I
there.
got
He's
him.
probably selfing.
Yep. Stole it. Don't worry about it.
I like this one as well. And you don't even notice it. You won't have even noticed what just happened.
3v1, bro. Huge.
I'm sorry, I'm cheesing so hard, guys. I cannot wait to walk you through this because his editor is not going to see this. Only someone that's really putting in the time to research these people are going to see this. I'm going to explain it beforehand, and then you're going to watch through it. There's so much acting going on here, too. You're going to see Zlaner, the showman, on full display here. He pops up in this window, okay? He's moving his aim around.
I just want to stop it there and just say that that's a reference from one of Hoppin' Dude's videos, Zlaner the Showman, where Hoppin' Dude actually broke down exactly how a magician uses trickery and other means to distract the audience whilst doing certain parts of a magician magic trick. Okay, and he actually referenced that and called him Zlaner the Showman in his video, and I will link that video in the description of this one down below because, again, everybody deserves the recognition for every video that they've put out. Zlaner the Showman, ladies and gentlemen, and as Headdband actually explains it, well, he explains it to a T, so I'll just let him crack on with it.
His aim actually gets stuck on the player. It gets stuck on the player while he's just moving his aim around, guys. Zlaner knows his aim got stuck on the player by accident. So he goes back in the house. He does some little weird movements around outside the house. You do hear the audio from the player, so you know generally where he is. But you're going to see that his aim sticks on this player for a second. And then he tries to play it off by running around inside the building and then goes and finishes him. Let's go. He's right behind the corner in the right. Right there. Boom. Stuck on him. You're gonna pay attention the second time through and see it. He goes in to fake it out. I got to talk you through it so then you can watch it again. Goes in to fake everyone out. Like, where is he? Where? I don't know. He already stuck to him.
This is the showman part.
He goes back out. He's looking over there. Does another little weird little maneuvery. There is some audio. And then he buzzes this guy dead. So now that you guys know where this character is, Watch his white dot on this next replay. He's breezing by, and the white dot stops on the player, you guys. It stops on him. Watch.
Calm down.
Bing! Bing! It gets locked on the player. And Zlaner feels that on his controller. He goes back inside. He fakes his shit around. You guys, he knows where that player is this whole time. This is all acting. His player, the hip fire, stuck on the guy behind the wall. He knew the...
I would even go as far as wondering why Zlaner seems to center his aim through the wall in this corner here as well. Just want to point that out, which obviously throughout this video, Headdband is focusing mainly on the aim, which is completely valid. I would honestly only focus on the aim throughout, but obviously due to Headdband actually putting a lot of points across, which I generally agree with throughout this, is that Zlaner seems to peek through this part of the wall and that part of the wall on a number of occasions throughout this situation. So not only is he twisting down to pretend to look down the stairs when he already has a general idea of where that enemy is, he's looking through this location here, and obviously through the whole process, the minimap's got no one showing up on it. Let's continue
whole
watching.
Time. Watch this multiple times. Tell your friends, tell your kids, tell your wives. Hide them too, because this guy's out to get everybody.
Hide them too.
You can't deny this. You cannot deny this, guys. All you have to do is tune into Zlaner and look for the hipfire white dot and look for the ADS snap.
Now this one, guys, before we actually let Headdband explain this, I want to just say that this is something that I have completely gone into detail about in the past, is how people's aim with aim assist just doesn't stick. And a very noticeable time to catch somebody who's using something more than aim assist is when they are shooting a parachuted player. So this guy is falling in. Watch how Zlaner tries his best not to center his crosshair on the player until the right moment. It's like he's keeping his white dot away from the player for as long as possible. And then the minute he decides to center it, it is completely centered. Even as the player goes past him, he turns with the player and continues to shoot him until he's downed. And this, to me, is a very damning clip in the whole aspect of that this isn't really possible without anything more than aim assist. So in my opinion, for this to happen, you would need to be using Aimbot. Watch what happens now. See him keeping the white crosshair away from the enemy until then. As the enemy went past, he perfectly turned.
That were super damning, just to add it to this collection of Aimbot today, guys. I have so much energy in me. I wish I could show it throughout this whole video, but the last bunch, you guys, you can't argue these. You cannot argue these. I gotta go get a drink of water. I'm gonna let you watch the last two if you've seen it already.
So imagine if Zlaner had got his crosshair placement on that enemy a bit further up in the sky, just before the enemy released his parachute as he was falling and shooting. Zlaner's aim would have stuck with that enemy, but he waited until the perfect time when that enemy decides to pull his chute again, because what it does, that actually stops the enemy in the air for a second. So what does Zlaner do then? He waits until that moment, puts his crosshair onto the enemy, and you see that small little stick of the crosshair, then he ADS's and perfectly tracks the enemy while shooting him.
Go comment. I'm gonna come back for the outro. If you haven't seen these, stick around and watch these. They're all nuts.
But the fact is, I have actually put out numerous clips of other content creators and other streamers who have had these exact moments where they are locking onto enemies who are flying in or parachuting in. So what do you guys think of this video? Personally, I believe the Headdband put out an absolute banger of a video today, and that's why I wanted to react to it. The reason I wanted to react to it was simply to expose this video and these clips to more people. That's you guys who are watching this video. So what I'm going to ask you to do now is check the pinned comment. In that pinned comment, there is going to be a link to Headdband's original video. Go over, hit the thumbs up for him, drop a comment for him, tell him where you come from. And I don't mean what country, I mean tell him that I sent you over there, okay? Before people start going over saying I'm from Ukraine, Belgium, you know, calm down. There's also going to be a link to Sergeant Stressful added in there, a link to Hoppin' Dude added in there, and a link to Pudding added in there, as well as Boston Daily. In that, I would like it if you guys could spend a little bit of time, if you have the time, go over, maybe subscribe to them all if you like their content, go and check out their videos that they've got. A lot of these guys have actually got videos where they either give their opinion about Zlaner and other content creators, or they've actually got videos about their gameplay. Okay, breaking it down, looking for suspiciousness, or just pinpoint accuracy with exactly what they are saying, sticking to facts and data. Just like Hoppin' Dude does, by the way, guys. Data is his main go-to. Data and facts. So, hope you enjoyed the video. And again, Headdband, thank you very much for letting me react to this video. Much appreciated. Well, there we have it, guys. A big shout out to Headdband for saying that it was okay for me to do a reaction video to this. So now you guys have all seen the clips the Headdband has put out. You can actually see the original video, which is linked in the description below. It's also linked in the pinned comment down below as well, guys, in the comment section. This video deserves to blow up. It really does. The reason for that is because this guy's just outright saying that Zlaner is cheating. He is outright saying that Zlaner is using Aimbot. Now, it is something that we have all thought for a long time, and I honestly believe that every clip shown in this video completely reiterates the points I've been making about Zlaner since back in October 2020. When we put out the part 1 video. When I started this video series, I always knew it was going to be a long road. Of course, the smaller streamers would come and own up to it. They don't have much to lose. But when you get a top level content creator who has more suspicious gameplay than all of the other streamers that we've actually managed to expose, who have either admitted it or shown their cheat menu, all together, something isn't right, is it? So Zlaner, once again, ladies and gentlemen, with the spotlight on him and his gameplay and the fact that it is very unnatural and extremely suspicious. Let me know your thoughts about this in the comments below, and then I would like it if you guys could actually head over to Headdband's video and go and give that video a like as well. If you did enjoy today's video, guys, be sure to hit that thumbs up. If you're new, subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any future videos. If you want to support the channel further, hit that blue join button today and become a member of the Triple B fam. And don't forget to follow me on Twitter at Badboy Beaman. Also, guys, go and check out my second channel, Triple B Extra. We are going to be posting miscellaneous videos over there. And when we hit 10,000 subscribers, we are going to be doing a 4-hour-long live Q&A for all of you guys to ask whatever questions you feel necessary. And I will answer as best as I can. Until next time, I'll catch you on the flip side. Peace!